Today we are unboxing the 21-inch quicker NexTorch Baton. Now, apologies for some of my American friends, we say baton, potato, potato. I know in the States I say baton, and I say baton with a Afrikaans accent as well. Okay, but that out of the way, it's the only sample that we have, and I've been begging the agents to just bring us one of these in. So if you look, nice packaging. I'm not going to go into the technical specs today. Here is the baton or baton and the little manual. 21-inch, so they call it the NexTorch, which means if I deploy it, I now don't need to go and hit it against something. I can just merely push the button and it collapses. So for a comparison today, we'll be making a couple of more videos as time goes by. For a comparison, I just took the ASP Sentry. I don't want to completely open it. Just as a comparison. Why? Because price-wise, this is a couple of $100 more expensive. So, but it's something that we can compare against. Now, first off, it's got the rubber grip, which is quite nice, like this baton rubber grip. However, after many years of use, the rubber grip on this one has become a little bit loose, which may or may not happen here. Bit of a wider grip, but nice part about the rubber grip is you have more grip and it's slightly wider. So the big thing about this baton, but this is not new. My first auto-lock baton that I had many years ago was from NexTorch, a big heavy baton, whereby when you open it, now you don't need to find a hard surface and strike it. You can just release it by pushing the button. Nothing new about this, but it is a very, very, very nice feature. If you think about it, just from a practical point of view, you don't want to, you might not always want to go full on opening and getting your guard stance or however you want to stand. Sometimes you would just like to discreetly open this, and it's just really by pulling it. And now it's open and it's locked. Okay, so a nice feature. Now with this, I haven't weighed it, but I will in the next video. With this, it is slightly lighter, or quite a bit lighter than the ASP or ASP that I have here. Now, this has positive and negatives about it. A lot of people completely misunderstand the use of a baton. And you might go on YouTube and see a lot of failures. It's really because people don't know how to use it. They like to use it as a brandishing tool. I'm going to hit you, I'm going to hit you. Not in the correct place. If this needs to come out, this needs to start flying. And also, sometimes, yes, there is a use for it. People will use it in a whipping action. So you've got a big leg there, and you whip it out and nothing happens. And people kind of expect something to happen. But it's almost like a blade. You know, you need to keep this going up until you have an effect, or the attacker stops doing what he's doing, or just collapses. Now, the problem with it being a little bit lightweight is obviously the kinetic power or energy will not transfer that well if you hit somebody, because you don't really have the weight behind it. Now there's ways to kind of fix it. You need to learn how to strike and to use it effectively. So that's the one disadvantage. The advantage of this against a heavier baton is, especially if we have space and I, for instance, get attacked by somebody with a blade, this is much faster to be able to block and use. And if you know anything about combatives, you know the half beat, being able to block and immediately use it. So it's much faster, and you don't get all of that over travel where you have to strike and over travel and come back. So yes, in that case, it is quite nice. So just as a quick comparison here, I don't want to open this completely. Here's the 21-inch ASP or ASP friction lock. And here's with the NexTorch. You'll see it's a little bit wider body, but pretty similar. It's really same tool, different brands. Okay. Now, once again, you quickly need to think about the use. A lot of people don't understand the use. Where would this come in? Where would I be using it? How would I be using it? If I travel overseas or do close protection work overseas, I tend to take a baton with. Now, firstly, you always have to make sure about legal requirements wherever you're traveling. Is this legal? It's amazing how many places this isn't legal. Sometimes even locally, if I have to fly, I'll pack in my knives or whatever, and I'll pack this in. Now, funny thing is, if a lot of people might not agree, but if I get accosted by somebody with a knife, and you ask me, what do I want to have, a knife or a baton? I will much rather go for a baton, okay? Because I've got the reach, and there's so much more that I can do. Now, remember, people see this only as a distance weapon. Yes, in later videos we'll show you, but you have the full distance, then you have the half distance and the enclosed distance. So basically, full is baton use, close is fist use, and very close it's like impact use. Now on that we will see and discuss this later. What if I do a close impact and this collapses, and maybe as I strike this collapses? Yes, this can happen, but once again you can easily open this up in many ways, okay? The nice part about this tool with the mechanism like this, if I do protection work and I might have to do a takedown or there's a problem, okay? I don't need to go whop, walk up and take down. I can much more discreetly just open this up and do the takedown that I need to do. Okay, so as I said, this is the first look. We will do more videos. Just a quick comparison. Here's your ASP 21-inch baton and the NexTorch. Now, I'm a big fan of the ASP, I've been carrying this for many years. This is coming into my toolbox. It's lighter and I like the ease of the push button release, especially in training. So let's say whatever, if I want to open down or if I want to open up, whatever way you want to utilize it, you see, I can do a lot of reps. I can stand here. Oh, I should have gone to the shoulder. Bang, say back up, bang, back to the shoulder. I can do my draws, get back to the shoulder, and be able to do this much more frequently than having to do the friction lock baton. Now, while we're on the friction lock, guys, just quickly one thing. I see a lot of people make the mistake on the friction lock. When they try to close it, they try to hit it, and what happens, they get to an angle. That's why it doesn't close. Just have it straight and let it collapse. So, in brief, this is our first very quick look at this new one, the only one in the country. We'll do some more follow-up videos on this, on the use and a little bit more at the technical specs. Probably won't be carrying stock. It will be on an order base with a deposit. The market for this isn't in the thousands, but yes, for security use, absolutely. For military and law enforcement, when you have to work with or you have to work in public, this is a great tool, but often misunderstood. Really excited about this. And before I forget, no, I'm not an influencer. People don't send me stuff for free and I say, oh, this is great, buy. No, I asked Clearbeam Engineering to bring this in. I said there might be a potential market. I don't get this for free. I will be selling it, although you guys all know my main focus is not selling products, but I will be selling it, and you'll probably be able to get that at certain retailers or at Clearbeam Engineering. Okay, so there you go, the NexTorch Baton. Thanks for tuning in, and watch out for our follow-up videos.